All right. Go ahead and get started. You want to plant your feet. Allow your hands to rest in your lap. Your eyes can close. Allow your back to rest in the back of the chair. We're just going to take the first few minutes to find our breath. Feel that inhale in through your nose. And feel the exhale back out through your nose. Using this breath to turn your attention, your focus inward. Trying to connect yourself into your body. Allowing any outside thoughts to stay outside of the walls. Anytime you notice yourself drifting off, thinking of other things, just bring yourself back to the breath. Feel that inhale once again. Feel that exhale. And that will bring your attention back to this moment. And just take a few more rounds of breath. Allow your chin to rest down at your chest. Allowing your head to hang heavy. Feel that inhale in, how it comes more to your back, into the back of your ribs. And then circle your head over so your right ear is hanging towards your right shoulder. Inhale that air into the left ribs, the left lungs. Circling back through center, chin to chest, bringing the left ear over now to the left side. Hanging the head heavy. And inhaling in now to the right side. Feel that right lung, that right ribs fill up with air. And then circling your head back over to the right. Allowing yourself back and forth at your own pace, circling from one side to the other, starting to wake up your neck, wake up the spine. Stopping anywhere that feels like it needs a little extra attention, if it needs a little extra hold to loosen up. Center, we'll hold, allowing our chin to our chest, hanging the head heavy, finishing the circles, the round you're on. We'll all meet here. We'll bring our hands to the back of our head. And going up through center, slowly gazing up towards the ceiling, allowing your head to rest back into your fingertips, opening those elbows up for a little chest opening, using the back of your chair to arch back, feeling that upper back round over the top of the chair. Your neck is extending as well, but you're supporting your head so there's not too much pressure through your neck. Just taking a few inhales and exhales here. Feeling this maybe a little bit into the chest in this position. Then we'll inhale up through center. arms to float down to the side. We'll take a few rounds of breath, inhaling the arms up, and then at your exhale, allowing the arms back down through your exhale. When you're ready for your inhale, inhale the arms up, and then exhaling them down at your breath. Take one more round. We'll take the hands back up. And on the exhale, we'll cactus our hands down, allowing for a pause here, feeling the strength of your shoulder blades, your upper back. You're squeezing those shoulder blades together as if you want to touch your elbows back behind your back and feeling the strength in the pull. Inhale here, you'll feel that into your chest. On your next inhale, we'll reach those hands up, interlace your fingers, fingertips, or pointer finger can stay pointed towards the ceiling, and then we'll just tick-tock back and forth. And take several rounds on your own, any distance, any range of motion that feels comfortable, just waking up those side bodies. If reaching those hands overhead is feeling a little bit too much, we'll bring those hands in front, less stress through your shoulders. If you're all right, you can reach those fingers out, trying to stretch through the side bodies. The next time you're on the right side, we'll pause here. We'll take a big inhale and a big exhale. And then we'll bring those hands over to the left side now. Inhale and an exhale. We'll bring those fingertips up towards the ceiling, reaching those way up high towards the ceiling. Feel the length through your spine. And then keeping the fingertips up, we'll allow our back once again to arch and extend over the back of the chair. This time your neck is you're going to allow it to hang a little heavy. Taking a few breaths here. And on your next inhale, we'll trace along the ceiling with your fingertips to the front of the room and right down towards the floor, allowing your hands to hang heavy. Maybe reaching for the floor. If the floor is a little too far away, you can bring your elbows up to your knees. Allow your back to round, your head to hang heavy. Taking a few breaths here in the seated forward fold. Maybe allowing your body to sway side to side, opening up maybe a little different spaces through your side body. And then coming back to stillness, seeing if there's a little more length now that you can open up and reach a little bit farther towards the ground. And then on your next inhale, we'll slowly come up, back up to a seated position, keeping your head hanging heavy. And then your neck being the last thing to come up. We'll bring our hands in front of our chest. We're going to take a few twists from side to side. And slowly kind of reaching towards the opposite knee as you're twisting. And maybe this is far enough for today, just reaching down towards the knee. If you're feeling like you have a little more space, you can reach that elbow just outside of the knee. If you have that space, maybe next time when you're on your right, we'll just hold there for a breath, or continue to rotate side to side if that's feeling better in your body today. If you're holding on the right, we'll switch. We'll rotate over to the left, and we'll allow our left elbow outside of the right knee. We'll pause here for a breath, or continue to rotate side to side if that's feeling better on this side as well. And we'll inhale, bringing ourselves up. we'll find some cat-cows, hands to knees. On your inhale, bringing your chest forward of your arms as you gaze up. And on your exhale, rounding your back, tucking your chin. Taking several rounds of this on your own, at your own pace, whatever feels good. And if there's any other little motions or movements you need, you can add those in. Kind of feeling around your body, feeling any spots, anything that is talking to you today. Come back to seated once you finish that round. We're going to take our seated twist, so we'll twist over to the right side, reaching that right arm back behind you. The left arm can come to the outside of the right knee. We've done a little twisting already, so if this feels like you can use those arms to give you a little deeper twist, you can go ahead and do that, or just stay within the range that's feeling good for today. And then your inhale, unfolding through center, finding this now on the left side. Left hand to the back of the chair, and the right hand will come outside of the left knee. Again, maybe using those hands for a little deeper stretch if your spine is opened. Unfold. We'll take one more seated fold. The elbows can come to knees, or go ahead and drop those hands down to the ground. Taking a few breaths here in a forward fold. Allowing your head to hang heavy. Feeling that spine open up, creating space in the back. And on your next inhale, we'll slowly rise up. Coming to a seated position. And then we'll take a few of our breaths where we engage our core, getting our pelvic floor, our transverse abdominis, everything working together. So if you know where we're going with this, you can go ahead and start your breaths. Otherwise, on your inhale, you're going to feel your pelvic floor release and the muscles of your stomach release. Fill up the belly, fill up the ribs. Feel that expand even into your back body and the sides. And then on your exhale, you'll feel your pelvic floor lift. The bones that you're kind of sitting on, those sits bones, will come together. You'll feel your belly button pulled back towards the back of the chair as your ribs squeeze down and together. Allow that full exhale out. Feel those muscles engage and strengthen. And then on the inhale, release. Release the stomach muscles, release the pelvic floor. Fill the belly, fill the ribs. And on the exhale again, lift the pelvic floor. Pull the belly button in to engage your transverse abdominis. Ribs down and together. And inhale to relax. Just take a few more rounds of this breath, connecting into those muscles, getting them all to work together, connecting them into the breath, so that throughout the day, that breath helps to bring about this engagement. On your next exhale, when you have those muscles engaged, I'm going to have you hold them Take a little inhale, and then on the next exhale, see if you can pull tighter, squeeze a little stronger, engage those muscles even a little bit tighter. Keeping that pelvic floor lifted, keeping those stomach muscles engaged. And then we'll lift one leg, keeping those muscles engaged, taking that little inhale as needed. And lift one leg, then the other, marching them back and forth. If you feel the muscles of your stomach or that pelvic floor start to get tired or they release, you can stop, reset, just follow those muscles and what they can do. If you want to take this a little bit more into our kind of boat pose, you can scooch to the edge of the chair. You can continue marching if that's enough for today. Otherwise, we'll make sure we're all engaged. You can lift one and then you can lift the other. You can kind of use the hands on the chair to give you a little support, or they can reach out in front for a challenge. Try kind of one leg straight, the other leg straight. If you need a break, just come out of it, shake it out. We'll give just a couple more breaths here, so if you want to, nice, get back into it. We'll take a couple more breaths, or you can go back to the marching if you've tried the boat pose and been there, done that. You want to go back to marching. We're really just thinking about engaging that core, giving it a little bit more that it needs to hold through. We're kind of working that endurance of those muscles. So if that marching is giving it enough of feedback, then you can stay right there. If you want to challenge it, you can bring it up into boat pose. We'll just take about 2 more breaths here. And then release down. Take a nice big inhale, making sure to release that pelvic floor, release those muscles. And then on our exhale, we're going to go to standing. I think we'll stop at a chair pose on the way up. If you'd rather just meet us at the top, you can go ahead and stand on up. If you'd like to do a chair pose, we'll scooch to the edge of the chair, plant those feet underneath, reach those hands out in front, and then just lift up off the chair just a little bit, keeping those knees bent. Beautiful. If you need to head on up at any time, go ahead. We're going to hold for a few breaths. If you're with me, if those hands come into your chest, it'll take a little bit of pressure off of the core and the back. The hands out in front would be a greater challenge if you want that. Just making sure that kind of tucking the rear underneath you as the chest just gently comes up. We'll take one more breath. Exhale it out, and then on the inhale, we'll stand. There you go. Shake those legs out. We're going to turn the chairs if you'd like. We're going to go through some of our high crescent lunge, downward dog, plank. I'm going to turn a new angle. All right. So I'll talk you through it, but I'll be up here if you need to kind of go down. We'll start by inhaling the arms up, coming into a forward fold, exhaling the arms down, and place those hands on the chair. Maybe step the legs about the chair's distance apart, a little bend in the knee, and we'll just pedal through our legs in this standing forward fold. Allow the head to hang heavy. Feeling those legs kind of stretching out, getting them working. If you do have socks on, this would be a good time to either take them off, or if you have the grippy socks, you're good. We're going to step our feet back into a plank. So pressing through the chair with your hands, you'll be extend your legs out back. You'll be up on your toes. You're trying to create kind of a diagonal to the ground, so your body's in one straight line. If you want to add a little push-up here, you can, or just hold that plank. Now we'll tuck our feet underneath of us as we push back into downward dog. Again, we'll take a few rounds of pedaling out through our feet here in this position now. Pressing those hips up towards the ceiling. And your head will kind of come in between your biceps. And then you can allow the legs to rest. Maybe you stay right here in downward dog, feeling the stretch, feeling the strength through your legs. Or maybe you'd like to lift your right leg and find a three-legged dog. Keeping those hips kind of pushed back, hands on the chair for support. Now if you have your right leg up, we're going to step that in between the chair. If you were down in downward dog, you'll just bring that right leg underneath the chair in the middle. Or walk it out a little bit to the right side of the chair for more balance. And then keeping the left leg back, we'll do a few lunges here. Hands on the chair for support. Bending the left knee down. Taking a few rounds of this. And then we'll return that left leg out straight. You can kind of tighten up onto your fingers and lift that chest up. Finding kind of a high crescent lunge here. Good, so bend into that front knee, good. Now you can lift the right arm if you'd like, or just keep both hands on the chair for balance. And then if you want to try the other one for a full high crescent lunge. Keep one hand on there, perfectly fine. If you want to try it and then put your hands back down, that's fine too. We'll give it about 2 more breaths wherever you're at. Or start peeling back the layers. And if your hands are up, we'll plant them back down. We'll step that right leg back. Maybe on the way back, you take a little hip circles into your downward dog. Or maybe you just place it back into downward dog. You can pedal through a little if you need. And then we'll switch over to the left leg. If you'd like, stay in your downward dog, or you can go ahead and lift that left leg up, finding a 3-legged dog. And if that left leg is lifted, we'll bring that underneath the chair. Finding our lunge. If you're in downward dog, you'll just slide that left leg out now. And then we'll take a few lunges on the right side. The right knee bending down towards the ground. Only as far as you'd like it to go. Out. We're bringing our chest up. Just sink into that front leg a little bit. Feel the strength in that leg. Kind of on the toes of the back leg. And then if you want to add the left arm, you can do that. If you want to keep the hands on the chair, you can go ahead and try both arms if you're there. Give it a couple more breaths. So find the right spot for you, wherever that may be today. If your hands are up, we'll place them back down to the chair. Tuck that right leg just a little bit, and then we'll send the left leg back. Maybe right back down to downward dog, or maybe a 3-legged dog, and you circle that left leg just a little bit. And then we'll place both legs down, finding our downward dog. And then we'll roll forward to another plank, feeling that core engage. Hands are pressed into the chair. Your body's kind of creating a straight line, diagonal to the ground. Maybe we add in a little push up there. heels under, press back to downward dog. I'm going to take one more high crescent lunge on each side. So if you'd like to go through the three-legged dog, stepping forward to the chair you can, or go ahead and just bring that right leg under. Maybe here you'd just like to stay in the lunge, kind of this runner's lunge position, and that's fine. Otherwise, we can go ahead, add one arm, two arms, wherever you're at, kind of going right into this high crescent lunge this time around. And then we'll plant our hands. And again, either stepping back through that three-legged dog with some circles, or just bringing it back right to downward dog. Taking a few moments there in downward dog. And then we'll meet in downward dog. And then we're going to take this onto the left side. So you can either step that left leg right up, right into your lunge position, or we'll take the left leg back through three-legged dog. And then placing the left leg under the chair, and now finding our lunge position. Lifting the chest, maybe the hands stay right on the chair, and you just hold this lunge position. Feel that strength in the legs, or add those arms in. We'll plant our hands, we'll step the legs back into a plank, or go ahead and shake those legs out if you need. If you got a little more and you want to add the push-up, you can. Otherwise, we'll start walking those feet to the front of the chair. Find one more forward fold. Maybe shake out or pedal through the legs. And give those arms a little break onto the chair. And then we'll slowly, on your inhale, rise up. Very nice. So we'll turn the chairs back around. Come back behind them. We'll go into our balance. So behind the chair, mine out of the way, we'll bring our feet about hip distance apart. And we're gonna kind of rock forward onto your toes and then rock back to the heels. So keeping the feet down, we're gonna kind of go through the borders of our feet, kind of feeling your body shifting from the toes to the right sides, to the left, to the heels, then to the left side. Just rocking all the way around. Feeling that shifting of your balance, feeling how those ankles, those little foot muscles react to this tiny shift. And these are the muscles that we use to maintain our balance. So we're giving them a nice little warm up here. And the next time you complete this circle, and if you haven't, we'll go the other direction now. Left to heel, to right, to toes. Maybe just seeing if you can go a little bit bigger shifts outside of your little circle. If you can go, what happens when you go a little further around. And then we'll kind of shrink this circle right down to become standing. And then let's bring our feet a little little bit closer together. And we'll go up onto the toes. We'll take a few heel raises, finding that balance. If your feet close together like this is a little bit too much of a balance challenge, you can just step them back apart. But I think most people are ready for the challenge. So taking it nice and slow up, nice and slow down. And on the way up, you might feel those ankles want to kind of roll out, trying to keep them in and really making the whole ankle work together. And then we'll release those heels down. We'll stand on our right leg. We'll bring the left leg into tree pose. So if you got your tree pose, you know where you want to go, you can go right ahead. Otherwise, we'll start by kickstanding the foot up. Hands can be on the chair. If you feel good with that and you're ready for a little more, you can bring that leg, that foot up to the calf. See if you can hold that balance there. And then the hands can come to the chest if you need a little more. And then wiggles and wobbles are good. That means you're challenging and improving your balance. I'm improving mine. If you want to add in a little bit more, if you're there today, if you've got that balance today, you can add those arms up. And if you fall out, you can come back in. Give this a little bit of time here to work the balance here. Find the most challenging spot for you, and then try to hold it for a little bit. Shake it out in between if you need to. We'll release that leg down, shake those legs out. And then we'll find this on standing on our left leg. So again, you can go right up to where you know you want to go, or we can just start by kickstanding the toes, the heels up, propped up against the leg. Hands can start on the chair. Kind of find the balance of your legs first, where they want to be, and then add the arms in. If you want to bring the leg up to the calf, if you're feeling good with that, then the next step would be to add the hands up to the chest, holding that there. Again, if you fall out, you can shake it out, come back in when you're ready. If you want to go for the arms all the way up. And it's normal for one side to be different than the other. So if one side's feeling extra wobbly today or extra balanced, that's fine. It's just kind of the way our bodies are, how they've accommodated. Ooh, this side's wobbly too. I get enough sleeping. We'll give this a little hold, making sure everyone can find kind of the right spot they want to be at, and then try to hold it. Giving it enough time to really build the balance, build the strength of those little intrinsic muscles, sending those pathways from the muscles up to the brain. So we're kind of firing those synapses, making things working faster, reacting to these little wiggles and wobbles, improving our balance. We'll release that leg down, shake that out. All right. We're just going to do maybe just a couple of our up onto our heels, and then try that little squat down.
Toes.
Up onto your toes. Sorry. Thank you.
That's why I'm here.
So again, you can just do a few of those squats without the toes. If that's giving you kind of enough of a strength and a balance challenge, squatting, stay right there. If you want to go up on those toes. And then just even a little mini squat up and down. That'll give you a little challenge. Of course, the further down you go, the more strength you're building, the more balance you're challenging. Hands can be right on that chair for support. You're going to get the benefit even if you have your hands there. Nice. You can continue to go up and down, or if you want to give a little kind of pause somewhere along the way and see if you can maintain your balance there, you can give that a try. And then once you're there, just see if you can lift those heels a little further. And you can finish that one up and then shake that right out. We'll come back to the chair. All right. Got the hard part out of the way. Built up some heat. We're going to take advantage of that heat. We're going to go through our stretching. So we can start with our right leg out in front. Place your heel on the ground, toes up towards the ceiling. We'll find our hamstring stretch here on this right side. Maybe folding your body over, bringing your chest down towards your thigh. To feel the stretch on the back of your thigh and that hamstring. Anywhere from your knee up to the buttock. Find a spot that you can kind of settle in for several breaths. Trying to create some length in that muscle. If you've got a sock on, you can try pointing your toe and lifting your toes, kind of like you're pushing a gas pedal back. If you have sneakers on, it might not kind of glide very well, so you can just hold it. You can give it a try and see if it works, but kind of pedal that foot up and down, feeling a little bit into the calf as you pull the toes up, and then release and back up. And then you can settle back in. Another breath or two here on this side. Scooching over to the right side of the chair. We'll send that leg on back for a quad stretch. So you can go up onto your toes, or you can flip the toes over so you're on the tops of your toes. Trying to feel this along the front of your thigh. Maybe leaning back a little bit if you need a little bit more. Hitting those hip flexors that like to get tightened up. If you got a good stretch, you can keep that there. If you want to feel it a little bit up higher where it attaches to the spine, you can lift that right arm up and over, and that should bring the stretch maybe up into the hip or even up into kind of the belly a little bit more. And we'll take a few breaths here. If at any point the stretch is just not working for you, you can kind of go out of it or find a different kind of shift your body around until it works for you. You can release that arm down. We'll bring ourselves kind of back up and then bring that leg out. We'll shift back to the middle of our chair. We'll find our straddle stretch. So we're going to do both legs out, nice and wide. Hands can come to our knees, kind of pressing out with our hands to get a little deeper stretch. You can stay right there, or you can allow the hands down for a wide-legged forward fold, which will really open those hips as well. Again, play around with how it feels best in your body. where you're feeling the most or the most beneficial stretch. So ideally feeling this somewhere in the hips, probably along the inner thighs, stretching all that out. If you're in that forward fold, we'll just bring those hands back up to the knees. Maybe pausing here for a moment, giving a little push with the hands. And then if you want to add a little side to side motion. And as you go away, you're pushing that knee away, getting a little deeper stretch there, but also feeling this into the shoulders and the spine and the neck. So if there's a spot that you want to just hold and sink a little deeper in, you can. Or just keep with the movement, this kind of active stretching side to side. And keeping the legs out, sitting up, we'll interlace our fingers behind our back with our legs nice and wide. You can push those hands down away, open that chest as well as the hips. Maybe there's a little forward fold if you want to give that a try, see how that feels. And it deepens both the chest and the hip opening. If that's not working for you today, you can just bring it right back up and pull those hands down as the chest lifts up. Playing around with what you like, what feels good. Start to slowly bring yourself up. We'll release those hands. Bring the knees back in, and then we'll find our hamstring stretch now over on the left side. So bringing that left foot out, heel on the ground, toes up towards the ceiling. And you can fold your body over, finding that stretch again on the back of your thigh. A nice pulling sensation, not painful, not overly uncomfortable, a place that you can stay and hold for several breaths, trying to lengthen that hamstring. They've actually done studies on the amount of time you need to hold a stretch to lengthen and gain flexibility, and they find that holding it for 30 seconds and doing that 3 times is actually the best length of time. Anything over that is more than enough, but 30 seconds and repeat that 3 times gives it the most flexibility. So we're kind of shooting for at least 30 seconds here. Ideally, we should do it 2 more times, but. You want to try kind of lifting the toes, pointing the toes, flexing, pointing. If you've got the right footwear on for this. I don't know if bare feet don't probably slide too well, do they? Okay. And you're going to pull those toes back for a little deeper calf stretch. And then you can release, and we'll just hold this another breath. And then we'll come back up to sitting. We'll scooch over to the left side of the chair as we put the left leg back behind, finding our quad stretch on this side. And we'll lean back for a deeper stretch here. Gonna find that initial kind of quad stretch. You'll kind of be down in front of the knee or just on top of the knee or all the way up. And then once you find that, if you want to add in for bringing that stretch up a little bit higher to that psoas, you can reach that hand up and over. And then you can release your arm, bring your trunk up, and then bringing that leg out. Take one more time in our kind of hip opening. Whichever kind of expression, whichever shape you found last time, and you want to just hit that again for just a couple of breaths. Maybe it's a wide-legged forward fold. Maybe you're binded behind your back with your hands, or maybe we're just rotating from side to side, giving that little push with the hand on the hips. And then when you finish that round, we'll bring those legs in. We'll take our right leg up and over to our hip, to our piriformis stretch, figure four stretch. If you need to kind of loosen things up a little on the way there, you can. Kind of taking some circles and then kind of folding it over. It can help to open things up a little. And then from here, you can either allow that to cross over, lean back and try to open that knee up, or you can lean your body forward and you'll feel that back into the buttock of your right leg. Feeling that piriformis, the glutes stretching out. And then again, holding, sinking into it. Start connecting back into that breath if you're starting to kind of lose that inward attention, that inward focus. Start bringing your mind back to your body, to the breath. One more breath on this side. And on the exhale, if you can sink a little more, see if there's any more space there. And then on your inhale, you can bring that leg out. And maybe circling it back down. Or give it a little shake, a little windshield wiper, whatever it might need. And then we'll come to the left leg. Again, maybe some circles on the way up just to loosen things up, and then when you're ready, you can bring it over into your figure four stretch. The leg can stay open or fold the chest down, getting a deeper stretch in through that hip, buttock, piriformis. One more breath here. And again, on that exhale, just seeing there's a little bit deeper, a little bit more of a stretch. And then inhale to rise and unfold that leg. Maybe a little windshield wiper, a little circles, a little jiggle, whatever you need there. And we'll come into our final meditation. If there's anything you need, if you want socks or a sweater, a coat, any kind of final moves you need so that you can find the most relaxed and comfortable position. You can go ahead and do that. And then when you're ready, you can allow your legs to either fall open or plant on the ground, plant your feet on the ground. can be rested on the back of the chair. And allow your eyes to close. And tapping back into that breath. Feeling that air in through your nose. Maybe allowing that air right down to the toes and feeling a sense of relaxation into the toes and the ankles after we've worked them hard through our balance. Allow them to rest connected to the floor. And exhale out. And on the next inhale, maybe following that down to the calves, the knees, the thighs, and sending them some relaxation, feeling them release. And then exhaling out. And then inhaling in and following that inhale down to the stomach, to the pelvic floor, to the back. Feeling everything release, sink into the chair. And then on the next inhale, tracing that inhale, sending that air to the shoulders, the arms, the wrists, the hands, feeling them all release and relax. And then inhaling again to the face, the forehead, the eyebrows, the mouth, allowing it all to relax and let go. And then exhaling it out. And then continuing to follow that breath, sending that anywhere that needs a little extra attention, anywhere that feels like it needs the release. Start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Gently bringing yourself out of the meditation and back into the room. Maybe allowing the arms to hang down at your side. Then we'll take one last inhale together, reaching the arms up overhead. Palms can come together and we'll bring our hands to our heart. Maybe a little bow of the head if you'd like. Taking one last moment here today together to appreciate our bodies. Maybe feeling that sense of calm and relaxation that we've created and taking that with you for the rest of the day. Tapping into that whenever you need that little extra calm, little extra relaxation. And maybe trying to share it with the people you meet today. And I thank you very much for coming.
Yeah, thank you.